This video is about planning, a key pillar for supporting runners in continuing running after they have started. Planning is about helping runners plan and turn intentions into actions, because making specific plans with running can ensure that the runs happen. The key messages from this pillar are: being specific makes it happen, and plan for life getting in the way. This means that scheduling a run in the diary makes it more likely that the run will happen, but also that people should be aware of barriers that might make running more difficult in the future and plan for how to overcome those. Many people have intentions to run. They might say, "I might try to run this week." However, those intentions don't always translate into actual running. The researchers call this the intention behavior gap. When people are more specific with their planned runs, they're more likely to happen. So writing down the specifics of when and where and how they run can help change the intention to run into actual running. For example, a specific plan could be, on Tuesday, I will run at the local park as soon as I get back from work. Making this plan can encourage them to prepare their kit and shoes in advance so they're easily accessible when they get home. It's good to write these plans down, for example in the diary or using notes on the phone, as it can make the plans more likely to happen. Recording the runs and noting down how they went can also highlight progress, which is what we talked about in the progress video. Life often gets in the way of our running. Other commitments, hobbies, holidays, or illnesses can all disrupt our routine. Something might come up on the day we usually run or on the day we planned on running, making it impossible to get our run done at that time. We can prepare for these situations by using coping planning and by creating if-then plans. For example, an if-then plan could be, if I can't run on my holiday, then I will do a brisk walk instead. If-then plans protect our goals from being disrupted by various internal states like the temptation to not run or external events like holidays. Forming an if-then plan helps us by making our responses to these situations automatic. So when the if part happens, we don't even need to think before we act in the way we specified in the then part. Practical tips on how you can include planning in your coaching. Firstly, help runners set action plans. Action plans can help make the runs happen. They can be used during the Couch to 5K when runners are planning their weekly running schedule, but they can also be used to plan for how they will keep running after the Couch to 5K. Their action plan could be, when the Couch to 5K finishes, I will continue to run for 30 minutes every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Some of the things you can do to support the use of action plans are: encourage runners to think about the specifics of when, where, and how they will run. Educate runners on the importance of being specific with their plans and on the importance of writing these plans down. For runners whose schedule makes it hard to stick to a regular routine, like people who do shift work, you can encourage them to plan at the start of each week when they're going to do their runs. You could ask those runners who managed to get out for their homework runs to share how they did that to give ideas for other runners. For example, what helped them plan or what time of the day they went. If someone is going on holiday, tell them what the next session involves so they can try to do it on their own. But reassure them that if they miss that week, then they will still be okay to return. And make sure runners also plan in rest days and aren't doing too much. Secondly, help runners plan for barriers and setbacks. Helping runners identify potential barriers that could affect their running or their regular routine can be helpful so the runners can plan for these. You could help by telling runners about some common barriers people tend to face, like being ill or being away during the scheduled runs. You could also ask runners to think ahead for what personal barriers they might face that could make running more difficult. For example, do they have a change in work pattern coming up or some relatives visiting? If so, encourage them to start planning for those. You can help runners plan for barriers by educating runners on the use of if-then plans for when they can't run or are tempted not to run. An example of this is, if I'm tempted to not go, then I'll aim to only go for 10 minutes. The end of the Couch to 5K could be seen as a barrier if runners are unsure about how to continue with running. You can help runners plan for the transition phase by introducing them to the leaders who arrange the regular club runs, and by explaining about where and when the runs will happen if they join the club. Thirdly, help runners understand it's okay if running doesn't go to plan. Explain that setbacks can happen and are normal, helping runners develop a flexible approach to running. It's necessary to miss sessions from time to time, but that doesn't mean they can't get back into running. Explain that they can adjust their paces and distances when they return rather than having to stop and start all over again. You can also try to reduce all or nothing thinking with running. An example of this is, well, I can't go this week, so I may as well just stop going. Reassure runners that it's fine if they can't make it one week, or if they can only go out for 10 minutes when you suggested they aim for 20 minutes. It's still better than not going at all. For further explanations, please have a look at the 2-page handout on planning. Here are also some academic sources that supported this presentation.